as we hop into game number 1 in our best of 3 series, VGM versus Agents of the Free. Now, Towers of Doom, what can we expect to see, Tetcher?
I mean, we have some very experienced players here, so there is a chance we could be seeing some of those game changer heroes like Abathur or Vikings making it into ban phase. Globals or double soakers also very popular here. We're going to be looking at the Yoriks, we're going to be looking at your Relves and Sonyas, anyone who can rotate Zul perhaps, who can hold down a double lane very effectively, and of course a little bit of poke never goes to amiss, especially on the map where it's a very channel focus. And very much lane control for the bottom lane is the kind of some of those strategies potentially mix and match, like a double soaking top mid laner and a 4-man lane control to try and dominate bot lane. Could see a mix and match of those two, for example, or a very delay and objective focused team.
Definitely can hope to see some of those, like you pointed out. There's going to be the Cassia taken away very first, because when it comes to OP heroes right now, she's kind of number 1. There are some teams that feel that some other heroes are a little bit more intimidating or just awful to play against, like Tassadar or Mei, but I think everybody has universally agreed that Cassia is just a pain, so they're going to go ahead and get rid of her.
Blizzard still, for the 3rd patch in a row, haven't worked out why Cassia is still good and why the Surge of Light is still so good, despite us all telling them the problem. Blizzard, please! As we see Cassia continuously bad. Diablo has also once again made it very heavily into the meta because auto-attack build, another thing that we've all been saying is very good for a while, is currently very, very strong and hard to deal with due to the current tank meta with the nerfs to Johanna and ETC. Although ETC's got a hell of a buff.
Yeah, that really insane. I believe it's level 13 talent that makes the amp. I can't remember the name of the talent.
It is Encore.
Encore. It reduces your cooldown on your heroic by 8%. We're going to see that Tassadar banned away. Per blast. But is it per blast? Per hero hit? Is that what it is?
Per blast. If you hit a hero, it is 8% off the cooldown with the first face melt or the amp explosion afterwards.
Jeez, that's really insane, especially
so
for a
16%
mosh
of the
pit.
cooldown.
Yeah,
however, we have a 120-second cooldown, which is, I think, 24 seconds.
Yeah. So mosh pit is insane. We've seen a lot of stage dive actually at this level of play, which is even shorter than mosh. So if you can imagine, you could basically be, you know, like a split soak ETC and just always ready to dive in when your team needs it. Get on that backline, Ana, because she is one of the top supports right now, so we can maybe expect to see her played. We are going to see that Greymane banned away, and again, just a super, super insane auto attack hero. ETC, like you called, Tetcher, the very first pick for clips here.
Also, I was super wrong. 16% of 120 is not 24. That's 20%. I just can't do maths on stream. Someone in the chat will correct me when the delay gets round to it. So, ETC going to be picking in. Like you said, it could be stage dive. Globals on this map are good. And it might be required now because we are seeing Abathur making their way in, which means that the soak control could be leaning in favor of VGM here. But with Ana on the board as well, they now have the potential for double Janas, double Li Mings, all with that nano boost power. The ability power snowball potential that VGM are running is already very scary.
It's going to be really insane for them here with the Abathur. That does mean we probably are going to see the shutdown of the Vikings. However, on Fight Night, I don't remember if it was last week or the week before, we did see the Abathur versus the Vikings on Cursed Hollow. And interesting, the free agents are pulling out the Kerrigan. The Kerrigan, Lucio, ETC. That's an insane combo. Lots of CC potential and lots of speed.
Malthael going to be banned away. We're not going to see the Circles of Doom composition. So instead, we see that taken out, which does mean potential for single tank or 2 very high hit point tanks for the side of VGM here, removing someone who would give them trouble if they were running single tank, because you can't retreat and swap out with anyone. Sylvanas going to be banned away here, a hero who could feasibly work very well with the Ana and also is good against the Kerrigan, being able to kite very effectively, especially later levels.
Sylvanas also, oh my goodness.
I
was going to say Sylvanas also offers, you know, that lockdown to make sure that you can just get those sappers in really easy. She can buff them, she can turn off your towers, and all around in that bottom lane. It's just miserable to deal with. But, so on a Cho-Gall with the Abathur, let's talk about this. That's going to be 3 bodies on the team at a time. are VGM gonna have enough lane pressure to deal with the members of Agents of the Free?
Well, now they're going to struggle. This is honestly a ridiculously sensible move to pick up the Vikings. For starters, Vikings into Abathur is fantastic already. Vikings come out slightly ahead in that combo. The Abathur is a really good pick with the Cho-Gall. Yes, you have less bodies, but he can multi-soak, but the Vikings are going to make that harder. The Orphea is where I start to see issues, though. Orphea only offers percentage damage at level 16. So right now, their percentage damage is basically non-existent until we get Norse Force, which I think is the earliest talent for the side of the Agents of the Free. So, and now, with that coming in here, they now have even more trouble because they have that split soak potential and that Orphea, who is going to be pressured. So their main actual counter to the Cho-Gall is going to be struggling against this Illidan, who is also a fantastic Abathur hero. Honestly, unless these Vikings are going to be able to get some monstrous value with Illidan on the board, I'm not so sure. I think VGM just took this draft home.
We'll have to wait and see. I'm super excited. One thing I'd like to point out for the Orphea is at later levels, I believe she gets armor penetration, which will allow her to really do well against that Cho-Gall, just because, well, she doesn't necessarily have percent damage. She can go in and take away one of Cho-Gall's biggest survivability tools. What's that?
She has both. They're on the same level.
Oh, okay. So,
yeah.
you know, whatever. I'm not an Orphea, man. I'm a Jaina kind of gal myself.
That's fair. Completely agreed. But yeah, she has a 3%, I think, percentage damage on her Q on level 16. And she has the armor ignoring, which is the exact same talent here. No idea what it's called, though. Can't remember the name of the talent.
Getting into this game, I'm locked on you, my dear. We're hopping in. It's Agents of the Free. Take on VGM Gaming. So, over here on the left-hand side, we got Psycho on that Kerrigan. Clips will be your ETC. Power Grid is your Orphea. I Need Healing is going to be your Lucio. And up in the top, Thelma the Owl on those Vikings. Once again, this is Agents of the Free.
Well, here's something embarrassing. It took me about 1 best of 3 of watching this team and playing in the free agent combine to realize that it was Thelma the Owl and not the Ima the Owl.
Okay, so the only reason that I know that's their name is they came into my Twitch chat the other day and I called them that and they're like, no, it's Thelma. And they had to say it like 3 times before I got it. So, yeah, and then they said everybody does it, so don't feel bad.
Alrighty, we're good. We're in too much nerd talk. But on the right-hand side, it is going to be VGM with TS Coca, aka Cattle, and who is the other one? It is going to be Mocha. Going to be playing on that Cho-Gall. We have Heavy, going to be playing the Ana. No immediate danger there. Don't have to keep a huge eye on that. Stun will come out, but there's going to be no kills. The Abathur is going to be being played by Vespertine, and Illidan is currently giving Vikings some serious trouble. That is going to be TigerJK.
Oh, man. Illidan just feels like a very Tiger hero. Wouldn't you agree?
I've seen him play it a lot, so I would definitely agree. He is a very good Illidan player. Always has been. So it's, I mean, always has been. Everyone starts off terrible on everything. As we do see Coca backing out. I'm definitely calling him Coca for this. As we see them picking up the XP, playing it safe. The bot lane domination being attempted by the side of Agents of the Free, but they're only going to be able to do so much. They're not going to be able to kill Cho-Gall for a very long time. Illidan, interestingly enough, by the way, even though he could in theory double soak this map, has gone for Battered Assault, which is fair. Very high chance of hitting a hero when he comes into team fights for maximum damage output. But he's not going to go for the split soak because Abathur is able to do that. Abathur actually kills Olaf with Cho-Gall picking up the kill.
Cho-Gall is just going to go ahead and dominate this lane. But here comes the little Viking now to try and get that soak. However, he's got to run for his life as Cho-Gall is hot on top of him. However, gets away, able to get back to the towers safely. And meanwhile, in the bottom, though, both towers are under some serious pressure. Cho-Gall had to walk away. This is kind of the issue with the VGM draft here. And now, Skoka is in a little bit of trouble. Misses the Kerrigan combo, though. And they're going to get away nice and easy.
They tank through this well enough, and like you said, they do have the slight issue, but the fact is, they are creeping very slowly further and further ahead. Abathur is able to soak very effectively against the Vikings, especially as Eric is choosing not to attack the minions. Now, there is the plan here that basically Eric soaks the lane without pushing it up to Abathur's body, but Abathur isn't playing with the Cho-Gall. He is just hatching the minions, so they're not actually gaining anything from this, where they could maybe try and turn it into a push style. They're not getting the value from that yet.
Not yet, but that could change as the game progresses. All these teams do get a little bit stronger. Cho-Gall scales insane, but so does Orphea. And then, like you said, that Norse Force, that's 3 auto attacks that do % damage. If all 3 are on top of you, I think it ends up being like 9% of your health if all 3 Vikings hit, and that's insane.
Channel did come in. Vespertine is going to be zoned away. It is currently only the left-hand side for the moment, which is being channeled. Orphea is slain by Cho-Gall, and the channel will come in. This will end up being a 2-for-1. You already mentioned this body problem that is currently an issue for VGM, but this is going to become less of an issue the longer the game goes on, once we have that ultimate evolution coming up for Abathur.
Do you think he's gonna clone just Cho? Because you can get just a Cho, you don't get a Gall.
As much as I think that would be hilarious, I think it is more likely to be the Illidan clone, or perhaps he will go for Monstrosity and go for the Split Soak. I think it's more likely that we see the Illidan clone, but who knows? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a Monstrosity the other day in one of the games that I was casting, and it actually did surprisingly well, especially when it burrowed in and then just kind of clapped those lower squishies, because you never expect it. You always think it's going to be clone. So we'll just have to see how Vespertine is feeling. If they think they need that extra body, which probably wouldn't be terrible. Little Viking goes down in the middle lane. Illidan working hard to grab these top sappers. And now an invade coming out from Cattle, Heavy, and Mocha here.
Interesting enough, by the way, Clips has gone for a speed metal on his level 4 to try and keep his team away from Koka here, but it's not going to work out as Koka able to dive deep with that Abathur hat, with the healing from Heavy, who's uncontested. Kerrigan should really be trying to put some pressure on there, but Koka is trying to hold good move from Lucio, but they're trying to hold it. The continuous dashes, but it's not enough. Cap is still taken by the side of the Agents of Free, and the fight continues, but with the anti-heal from Ana, this is an easy fight won by Cho-Gall. Without percentage damage at this stage, they cannot win this duel. They have to retreat. They will lose. I need healing. He goes down because they stayed too long. They still think they can duel this, but you cannot duel the Cho-Gall at this point.
Yeah, I have to wonder, like you said, what they were thinking opting to go for that Cho-Gall instead of the Ana, because Heavy was just sitting there just putting a ton of pressure on keeping the Cho-Gall nice and healthy, and no one was doing anything about it. I know they wanted that point, but they ended up losing, what was it, 3 heroes, 2 heroes for it? I don't know if I would necessarily call that worth.
They lost the heroes, they got the Merc Camp, but it was killed before it got any value at all. They lost mid-cap already, bringing it to 32 to 32. And now Koka is going to be picking up that bottom altar, making that a double cap. Here's level 10. We do go for the ultimate evolution. Feels good. And Twisting Nether coming in, combined with the potential for Nano Boost. Hunt onto Lucio with them trying to stop Cho-Gall, but can't do it. Cho-Gall just picks him off. The Nano Boost not even required, but they use it for the kill anyway. And yeah, this is just going to keep happening until at minimum level 13, where we're going to see Agents of the Free actually getting that Nordic attack squad. But until then, they're just not going to be able to do anything about this.
They're just going to have to hang back and then hope that maybe they can get it in the late game. Because one of the things that I love about Towers of Doom is it's not over till it's over. As long as you've got 1% on the core and a chair you can sit down in comfortably, you can win this game. It's all just about how the team goes from here. They're a little bit behind right now, 0 to 6. And it's been non-stop fighting. Oh, that was an interesting interaction. Psycho in a little bit of trouble now. Out comes the Ana and just the insane amount of healing reduction. But out comes the sound barrier. That's going to make it really, really difficult. What is happening?
Cho dueling Psycho in the back. They're going to get the kill with just Cho. Heavy, once again, uncontested, is not being pressured enough at all by Power Grid. Clip's going to be focused down and picked off here. The clone will expire before any kill is acquired, and Power Grid needs to kite back, but takes way too much damage and is going to be popped. Interesting observation by the crowd, actually. Nano Boost can't actually give anyone mana. No one on this team uses mana except for Ana.
Just nano yourself, forehead.
I am power.
Yeah, really interesting seeing that Cho come out. It took me a second to realize what you were saying, and then I was like, what do you mean? Cho-Gall, he's fighting the rest of the... Oh, okay. So we are going to see Tiger taking this top camp once again, and... Vikings, however, are going to get both of the channels on this this altar phase here. So keeping Agents of the Free in the game. However, this bottom fort is falling to those Vikings, or excuse me, the Sappers. They're basically the Vikings. They giggle around and make towers explode.
There's 3 of them.
Tiger, what are you doing? He gets out because, of course, Illidan.
He has evasion, which means he can avoid the shots from the death zone. So he's clearing out the minions, trying to get the sappers in. There are too many people here, though, so the sappers will get slain here. Vikings will be able to finish the job. Tiger, is he actually going to get a kill from this? Has he been affording a chew? There's evasion. He gets the kill.
And here
hello!
Oh no!
From behind, he wrapped around the neutral zone using that beefy Cho-Gall hit point pool to just eat those shots and tank it. There's the hunt to interrupt Clips, and this is a disaster. Sound Barrier to try and save the day, but it's too little too late. I need healing. Chased into the death zone by the beefy boys. They can't get the kill, but that is a zoned Lucio.
Oh man, VGM not caring at all about this death zone. Like you said, Cho-Gall just wrapping around. None of us anticipated it, certainly least of all the Agents of the Free, who were just decimated by that fight there. We lost all 3 of the Vikings, the ETC, the Kerrigan, and now Abathur is in a really, really solid place. They've got that top tower, they're ahead, and so this is exactly where VGM want to be, as they're also just soloing this boss casually with Tiger and Heavy here.
We have level 13 on the board. Nordic Attack Squad is online. However, it requires all 3 Vikings to work. TigerJK, he has the counter. He picks a Viking. That's all he needs to do. As long as he just keeps picking a Viking, just one, that percentage damage isn't on the board. And as such, Coca begins to farm kills. And is looking for Clips here, going to try and chase down. We do have on-calls, that's cooldown reduction on the mosh pit. Clips, we've had to heal from Heavy, no sustain, cannot attack through that. So we're going to see Psycho try to hold it, but Coca is going deep.
Really rough time here for the Agents of the Free. Coca just jumping in, and another death. There goes that. I believe that's Eric, or is that Olaf?
That is Eric.
That is Eric. Okay, I'm right. I'm learning my Vikings. Baylog is a little guy. Okay, now that we know the Vikings, this is going to be the camps heading over to VGM. And then, of course, they should grab that middle altar there. Or are they going to look to try and grab this middle tower first, getting those 6 shots? And then, of course, the assault on the court would just be crippling to Agents of the Free, who are having a harder time defending now as Kerrigan does fall once again.
Tiger is currently losing the 1v1 versus Fel, but will finally be able to turn it around as cooldowns just came back up. Coca on a big run, trying to escape, and also assisting the Sappers. Consistent crowd control coming in. No Ana here yet, so Coca in trouble. They get the kill. That is first kill for the side of Agents of the Free. They finally get the Cho-Gall. They also, Illidan had to go back to base. He was dropped a little low, and that finally gives them at least a little bit of space to push something, but they're a little split here. They don't seem to have made the decision of where they need to be deep pushing.
Spreading out, trying to get that lane, so possibly to get 16 and maybe look for another fight, because if we really look at this, I mean, it's no, like I'm just gonna say, Agents of the Free are getting a little spanked in these team fights, but they're actually not that far behind in the tower points if you look. 17 to 26. Ooh, the Ana nade.
The Ana deeper strat. Let's go.
Oh, man. both these players insane at hitting those sleep darts. And now Power Grid in a little bit of trouble. Has to jump onto Vespertine. Another sleep. But that is going to be real Ana going down. Clone does disappear. There is a mule on that bottom fort there. But Kerrigan left an Ultralisk, hopefully to get a little bit more damage as they go to heal up.
They nearly won that. That's unreal that the two Anas were able to very nearly win that 2v2. But bot lane, like you said, it will survive. Mule expires. Vikings have positioned themselves, but this time, TS Coca will interrupt and will prevent the Vikings from finishing the right-hand channel. There should be 5 shots going over to the side of VGM, and should be 6 shots, thanks to the bot cap, if I need healing, going over to Agents of the Free.
I'd really like to see the Agents of the Free try and make more of an aggressive play. Like, we saw Kerrigan attempt to go in and try and fight that Cho-Gall on the point, and they totally could have done it. Ana is dead. Really nice Chrysalis there. Oh, it's not going to be enough to save her, though. As Kerrigan does go down, but Ana was dead. Illidan was dead. It was just Cho-Gall, and then the Abathur, who can't really help him aside from the hat. That would have been the perfect time to go in and try to make something happen, but unfortunately, the level lead seemed to be a little bit too much of a deterrent for Agents of the Free.
Hunt onto the Orphea to try and save it. That's pull stun attempt into the death zone to try and hold. Mosh pit 6 seconds up because it got to the 10-second timer, but you can't mosh if you are deceased. As we see the 4-man kill there. Sorry, 3-man kill. Kerrigan was already dead. Nicely done by Coca. It is dead magic, the talent you were talking about before the game started. The armor ignoring to try and burn through the Cho-Gall. And we immediately see TigerJK doing exactly what he's been doing all game, working out which hero is the biggest threat, either a single Viking to avoid Nordic attack squad, or in this case, getting rid of Orphea quickly so that dead magic doesn't have the ability to actually gain value. He isolates, he hunts, and he finishes them off before they can counter the Cho-Gall. TigerJK, weirdly enough, because he's Illidan, is currently assisting Cho-Gall being the hyper carry. It's very cool to see and really fun play.
Turns out if you get paid to play the game, you're pretty good, as we see here, because Cattle is next to HGC Pro. Tiger, the exact same boat. Another Viking, a Viking does go down. It is brought back with play again. Another one goes down. This time there is no buyback. So that is going to be no Nordic attack squad for this fight. Orphea is so very low. Out comes the nano boost. Kerrigan trying to get the combo, does not connect. Coca doesn't give a crap about being in that death zone. Here comes the shield. Oh, they start carrying now.
Oh, the shield. They've gone for the shield with Evolutionary Link. 10%, 35% of his health as a shield coming in while the ultimate evolution is on Cho-Gall. Coca just tags beautifully. They win the fight. Illidan grabs top lane. Mid lane is reclaimed before the triple cap, but that's a 6 shots being channeled by Vespertine.
This is going to be do or die here now for Agents of the Free. They're going to have to make something else happen. Coca, he's getting harassed by Psycho, but now it's the other way around. Psycho doing their best to try and stay alive. Even mounts up in the death zone. What an absolute madman. But here are the 3 Vikings. They're here together at last. And Coca just runs away.
The larger than charge attempt, the stun came out, and Coca does have to be worried about that. He can't afford to fight without Heavy anymore. He's been doing a lot of independent dueling, but if he doesn't have Heavy with him, he's going to be in danger. Speaking of which, Heavy being chased down by the Vikings. Coca is diving deep power grid, sniped by the hunt of TigerJK. There's the larger than charge, though. They're going for the Cho-Gall, trying to stun him out. Larger than charge, power slide, Nordic attack squad. They get Coca. That's what they needed to have been doing all game. But while this is happening, Camp's pushing in top lane. This is captured. Mosh pit on the minions to try and prevent that being captured. But that's a triple cap with no one Z pushing. That is going to be shots onto the core with the Sappers making their way in. That is GG. No defense. In game number 1 goes over to VGM.
Oh, the members of Agents of the Free, they almost had it. I thought the comeback was now, but the split push of Abathur, of Tiger, and then the constant harassment of the Cho-Gall and the Ana was just a little bit too much for the poor Agents of the Free. And as such, game number 1 going over easily. We can see here on the score screen, 6-27 in favor of VGM Gaming.
If it weren't for Illidan and Anna died once each, I was wondering if all the kills were Cho-Gall kills, but no. Anna died once, Illidan died once. 2 kills onto Cho-Gall, adding up an extra 4 to that kill number. But yeah, the Vikings topping the damage chart, and well-deservedly so, because they were the maximum damage output there, because Orphea was just bullied by Tiger there. So was Thelma as well. Honestly, big shout out to TigerJK. We called it out at the start, but he played that so beautifully, working out what the biggest threat to his hyper carry was and eliminating it every fight.
Ah, the poor agents of the free. Just we look at that, this power grid, like you said, harassed indefinitely. 7 deaths. Clips not feeling so tanky in that game. Another 7 deaths. Kerrigan being blasted there. 4 deaths on the Viking. That's like, what, 4 times 4? So 16 kills on those poor baby Vikings. We'll take a look at the talents here so you guys can have a look at the builds. Maybe, incorporate them into your own games if you're looking to get a little bit better. Death Mosh, no value, unfortunately. Could have been the turning point. Not everybody got to pick their level 20s. Just a little too late, unfortunately, for Agents of the Free.
Yeah, they did attempt to try and pick those up at the end, especially the Death Mosh could have got the turn. But I do want to call out Clips there for the attempt of the Mosh bit during that final fight on the point. If he made sure he caught the minions, because the bell tower was so low, if he had caught the minions and he had caught Tiger, they could have actually saved that bell tower and kept himself in the game. I think that's a really heads-up play that a lot of players might have missed the fact the minions would have got the kill. He tried to make it, but Tiger was just too on point with the dodge. Very cool to see. But overall, yeah, build-wise, pretty spectacular. The lack of early percentage damage made the difference there. Waiting for level 13 really made the difference there to the fact that we saw VGM able to get so far ahead.
Definitely. Cho-Gall's always been one of those make or break heroes. I'm going to hop over to our map so everybody can see the updated bracket. If you're just joining us here for game number 2 in our best of 3 series. But yeah, Cho-Gall, like I said, he either makes or breaks the game. You either have an indomitable Cho-Gall where, you're sitting there in chat like, why is Cho-Gall so OP? Or you have one of those games where your team is like, dude, could you not? Like stop being farmed, please. So glad to see for VGM, it was the latter.
Indeed, and personally, I feel we need to be enforcing this, or admins need to be enforcing this, because it is a problem. Luckily, there are a lot of people who are very talented people who've made some great tools that make it easier for casters to deal with that. But it shouldn't matter. It should be this way for the audience at minimum, or implement something where the teams get to pick what side of the map they are as well, and actually make some use out of it. For now, though, we're going to be seeing Battlefield of Eternity popping up, and VGM with first pick and first ban.
It is them. You're right, so I'll have to update as it is. This was picked by the members of Agents of the Free. We'll go ahead and update that for the next time. And this is their map pick. So Agents of the Free are saying that they know this one best. This is where they want to play. So hopefully we can expect to see a little bit more of a resurgence from them. They played really well game number 1, but I felt like they were kind of dragged around the map. So by bringing in their own map, hopefully they'll be more comfortable. They have a strategy in place. They'll know what works. And fingers crossed for them, so that they hopefully don't get meme stomped.
Fingers crossed indeed. Let's see what they do. For now, VGM starting us off with the Chromie ban. That's fair. Even though you were being beaten down by the Cho-Gall, it was the Ana that seems to be causing all the problems, because they couldn't seem to get close enough to her. And every time they killed Cho-Gall, it's because they were able to isolate him away from Ana. So in this case, removing that Ana is a sensible ban out here. It removes that power, and also removes heroes like Li Ming from incredible value. There's a Vikings ban. They're not super common on this map, but they do have value.
I wouldn't be surprised at this point. I think I saw Vikings the other day on Battlefield of Eternity versus a Deathwing, because they can just sit there in the lane versus the Deathwing, and then once you do get that Nordis attack squad, that's one dead dragon. So unconventional, like you said, but definitely see where it has its place on these 2-lane maps.
There goes the Sergeant Hammer. Newly carbotted, We always love that. That video hit very close to home earlier today, but also very good long-range siege on the map. It's a sensible ban if you struggle into it, because she's not the highest race, but there are several strategies that revolve around the hammer that are very hard to deal with.
And we see as we lock in very first Greymane coming out for Vespertine. Really, really solid first pickup, I think. Again, one of the best race heroes, one of the best auto attack heroes all around. Just really, really solid. So, what are Agents of the Free going to pick up in retaliation? Ando and Kira.
That is potentially a light bomb stun build. I can't remember what Kira's stun is called. I don't play her.
I'm drawing. I know that there's one at level 16 called Booming Kick that stuns everybody, but yeah, off the top of my head. Revolving Sweep.
Unrelenting Strikes.
Unrelenting Strikes.
Yes, Revolving Sweep also stuns, if you take the talent for it. All the stuns, all the way. Tyrael Raider. Jinxie. For starters, that's a lot of race, and Tyrael is fantastic. For second...
There's absolutely no way they juice Pirates on. Like, I want to say, like, I would put my reputation as a caster on the line, but it's VGM, and I know that they're probably just going to be like, LOL, no more cast for Jinxie. So, just please don't.
There goes Tacit. What? Why? They have Greymane and Raider already.
He's really insane wave clear, which they're lacking a little bit. I mean, Raynor does okay. Greymane is all right in Worgen form, but since everybody is really single target focused, it can be really kind of difficult if you want to push out those lanes and maybe try and focus on the camp. So can understand the task ban. Maybe not ideal, but I mean, he could solo lane. It could be a Tyrael solo. That would leave Tacit our tank. I have no idea.
Yeah, Archon Tassadar tag. Let's go. Just hold the line. Here we see Hanzo giving them their race potential, and Artanis implying that Kira is in the 4-man, which is absolutely respectable. It's going to put a lot more pressure onto Tyrael. I like that a lot. Final pickups for VGM here. They already have the Medivh now, and Zagara. The no healer draft. This composition is very much based around infinite pushing and delaying. They have a ridiculous amount of race, which means they can outrace the opponents, and if the opponent fights them, they are nearly impossible to kill with this composition, unless it's a very long team fight, which is the idea of having Tyrael and Medivh so that you can disengage very quickly. VGM are going for a playing the map strategy, and preferably ignoring Agents of the Free unless they can get pickups and kills as much as possible.
This is an interesting draft. I mean, I asked for no Morales, and they obliged, so...
They went no healer at all.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, Tyrael does offer shields. Medivh does offer that protect. However, a lot of that is taken away by stuns. I mean, you can protect somebody, but you can get the stun, you know, wait for it to wear off, blow them up. We will have to see as we jump back over to us for 1 second. I'm really pulling. I'm like, fingers crossed for Agents of the Free. I don't like to see a Zagara win, because whenever they do it in the these tournament games, then like everybody in bronze level seems to think like, oh, we can just play Zagara now, and no, you can't. You know, you're not.
They have to pick a. Agents of the Free have to pick stage dive, I think, in order to make this work. They need something to actually play the map, because otherwise they are going to be out macroed, and that's where they will lose. You can immediately see that with this 5-man group up in top lane as we introduce the teams. On the left, in the blue trunks, it is going to be VGM, with Heavy on Zagara, Mocha playing Reyna, Cattle going to be on that Tyrael, TigerJK is on the Greymane, and currently in the sky, it is Vespertine on the Medivh.
My camera is being a little bit funky, so I guess I'll observe this time around as we head over to our folks on the right-hand side. We have Psycho on that Kira. I need healing. Use your Anduin power grid. Rocking that. Hanzo in the middle, waiting to see where the teams go. It's Thelma the Owl, and up in the solo lane, it's Clips running for their life as it looks like a well snipe is coming out from the members of VGM Gaming. Oh, okay. They're just going for the keep. Sure. I mean, that's something you can do. The members are rotating here. Thelma the Owl coming in, gets a slide on Ethereal. Cattle taking a lot of damage. They are holding that keep aggro. Raynor is going to be the first to go down, however. Next is Tyrael, who's going to try and explode on that keep. Medivh also, or sorry, Zagara is the next to fall. Medivh not long for this world. And then TigerJK blown away. That's a full 5-man team wipe. And no keep yet. So if this is the play, if Agents of the Free can continue to react to this, then this might turn out to be in their benefit.
I'm not sure this will work. I'm not sure this is going to be savable. I'm not sure this is salvageable by Agents of the Free. We immediately see the lane swap, but now we have the Punisher, which technically there is one strategy that we will see now from VGM, and that is to push bot lane harder, because if I remember correctly, the Immortal focuses on fort health, not keep health. It will focus on whatever the tier 1 is. So with this keep dead, that's Mocha. Oh no, Mocha. Oh no. That just feels bad. Okay. Mocha goes down, Medivh goes in. But yes, if they can push bot lane hard enough, then technically the Immortal will just rush top lane and could end the game with the first Immortal, and that's what they're going for here. Vespertine rips stacks, is gonna die, but they get the keep.
We'll have to see how that Immortal works. If it is, like you said, focusing on the fort health. Just Zagara down here in the bottom. Psycho able to keep them at bay for the moment. And fingers crossed that, I keep saying it, but I don't like to see Cheese win, man. I do like VGM Gaming. We'll just have to see how it plays out. I'm very excited for the game nonetheless. It's an unconventional strategy we don't typically get to see at these levels of play.
We're going to be seeing some interesting talent picks here. We're going for the redemption for Hanzo. He realizes he's getting a lot of hero hits here and will continue to for a little bit. So he's trying to farm that as effectively as he can by giving himself maximum damage as fast as possible instead of having to worry about landing scatter arrow or target practice with the enemy team so split. So he's playing around that as best he can. We also have shield battery coming in for our Tannis. Realize it, which is a kind of weird because it gets 3 damages, 4 kinda. So running that style is a little bit interesting. Also, bush gank attempt. Psycho not going to check that bush yet. I think they're just trying to bait someone in with this creep.
Looks like Agents of the Free are not buying it, as Artanis is immediately going to run down to the Immortal of VGM and try and push him away. Start doing as much damage as they can. And the race is on for the members of VGM, who are now looking to take this forward. Just trying to push the lane as best they can, not even caring about the Immortal as halftime is reached. Ford, with less health in the keep and no one to defend it, is going to go down. Gate is not down yet, but that nice safe spot in the top side here. They're just going to hang out, wait and see if anybody comes back. ETC is on to them.
This is smart.
But
yeah, Thelma knows this was the strategy all along. Ignore the Immortal, try and end the game. But Thelma the Owl is on point. People are coming back, but nowhere near fast enough. Psycho is needed for this. They can't afford to fight without Psycho because the core damage is really fast. Medivh protection. Down goes Greymane though. Tanking through, using the portal. Micro, good stun by ETC. Down goes Heavy, but that's 50% off the core. They're just going to be able to do that again. They can't afford to leave someone behind to macro. Yeah, they get the Immortal here, but quite frankly, all VGM need to do is do that again, and they can go through mid. They don't even have to go through top this time.
This must be so frustrating for Agents of the Free. They're just trying to come in and play the game. They picked a really solid BOE comp, and it has just exploded in their faces. They have this Immortal. He is full shield. Artanis, Hanzo, really solid pushers. We'll see what can be done if maybe they can try and hopefully bring something back. Yep, I'm looking at the top as everybody from VGM is on the move. We can see Kara looking for the folks back as our ports are called, and Agents of the Free are back, making sure that they can at least be there in time. The biggest way to prevent this strategy is to hearth cancel, so I like that Agents of the Free are taking the initiative to try and make sure that they don't lose another 80% of the core, because they can't. You're just dead. That's how it works. Tiger coming back to clear the Immortal, so a moment of calm for Agents of the Free.
Yeah, they are fully channeling as opposed to half cancelling here, so there's a little bit of efficiency lost here. Mocha will die here. Good kill. Tyrell's just hanging out. Cattle's just waiting. I'm not entirely sure what for. I think just not showing to just sort of keep people guessing, keep people fearing. But this is literally just going to be VGM hanging out for a while until they've lulled Agents of the Free into a false security again, and then they'll end the game. Cattle is going to straight up just proxy the lane.
Members are going back. They're sending back just Kira to harass Cattle. And this is one of the VGM's mind game that's going to work so well. Just show in their base, cause Agents of the Free to panic, wonder if they need to go back, interrupt there by Heavy, making sure Thelma can't get back in time. Nobody is racing just yet. Members of VGM all hanging around the top lane. Everybody is back and alive. So we could see the race heading as Zagara has eyes on these folks in the bottom lane.
Does Zagara have no, they don't even have level 10. They're just going to go without Zagara here. Zagara is trying to stop ports. So they're going to try and end without Zagara pre-level 10, because if the enemy team gets level 10, Agents of the Free have a chance for a comeback, but it's not going to make a difference. The protection from Medivh is too good. Great main ends the game, and that is going to be the 2-0 for VGM.
Oh, they tried so hard, and this is the first time I think I've ever seen the team down in experience take the win. No GG's even called there. Agents of the Free are pissed, and rightfully so, I think. Playing against this, like, if it was me, I would just be like I'd break my keyboard in half.
I mean, it's an interesting draft. It is the fact. I have no hate for this. I've got, yes, if I was Agents of the Free, I'd feel a little bad, but the fact is, they played a draft that was effective, and the counter wasn't made by Agents of the Free. Overall, VGM were the better team there. They played a draft that wasn't countered and played it effectively.
Oh, I'm not hating on the draft. I'm hating on the feelings of the players. Like, I'm just saying, playing against this, it just must be so infuriating. I think it was well executed. I think they knew exactly what they needed to do to win in 6.5 minutes. But yeah, chat does it best, just toxic. On the bright side, we'll probably have time for the Team Alexander game. I'm going to show the talents here if anyone cares. We only got to level 7.
I think the talents are relatively important here. You see the most efficient race, Medusa Blades coming in for Zagara. I'm not entirely sure about that one. I think I maybe would have preferred to see the poisonous one. I can't remember what it's called, but that's maximum core damage for the actual race. But in this case, they just used it to clear out minions as well. The Corpse Feeders was very sensible. That tanked the keeps for a lot of their actual push, so they made the most of that very, very well. And the extra Banelings, they really maximized the core damage there. And of course, the Swift Retribution was a huge rush tool for them to actually burn through buildings, and Exterminator for Reyna gave them the fastest possible race.